大家好，是你们最喜欢的辅导老师贝欧刘。今天我们又来看一下第12课吃饭。Hey everybody, it's again a pleasure to see you all as your favorite tutor, Bei Ou Liu. And again, we're going to be going into some exercises from 吃饭. So this one, although it is a singular exercise, it's going to take just a little bit of brain power. So 请你们翻到第57页, please turn to page 57. And even if you don't have page 57, I'm going to have it all shown up there for you. But for your convenience, let's turn there together and let's get into it. So before we jump into anything, especially something as formidable as what we're about to see, it is important to analyze the task. So what is the task asking? So rearrange the sentences below into a logical sequence, so a sequence in order that makes sense, then combine the sentences into a coherent narrative, something that's coherent. So we got sentences and we want to go from sentences here to narrative. So that is an important part of this task here. So replace nouns with pronouns. So to make them from sentences to narrative, we're going to need to replace nouns and pronouns and change periods to commas where appropriate. And then we'll delete identical subject pronouns and add in connected devices. So basically, same thing. It will look a lot easier, but it's important to look at the instructions here. We're just going to take disconnected units and create one coherent and flowing passage. And then just continuing on with that, some of the examples that they gave us for connected devices is 后来就除了以外还可是就什么什么什么 but you can go with whatever you're feeling whenever it's time. And I'll mostly leave that piece up to you guys. But first, to break this down and make this sort of a task that feels doable, my strategy would be read the sentences and then divide them in some way. So what we're going to do is we'll read all the sentences here and divide them into, I'll just go ahead and say we're going to divide it into things about the restaurant and before they order, and then things about the ordering process, because you can have time to read these on your own time. But I won't bore you. I want to read the same 6, 12, 13 sentences twice. So we're just going to go through. Red is going to be for the ordering process, and blue is going to be about the food. Oh, blue's going to be about the restaurant. Okay. So 我们开始吧。第一个，饭馆里好像一个位置都没有了。So we see that the topic of this is 饭馆. So we just go ahead and mark this off with blue to be decided order-wise later on. 下一个，李友又要了2碗酸辣汤. So this is about ordering, right? So let's go ahead and make that red. 下一个，小白菜已经卖完了. This could be about either one. So in this case, I'll just leave it blank. 下一个，王鹏和李友看到有一张桌子没有人. So you would think that this like logically comes before they actually sit down to order. Therefore, I'm gonna make it blue. 下一个，王鹏和李友 where am I? 王鹏和李友点了2盘素饺子. 素饺子 that's something that they ordered to eat. Therefore, red. Fun fact, the reason that all these places like 麦当劳, if you remember 麦当劳, is red and yellow is because red and yellow is what stimulates our hunger hormones. Crazy. Okay, 下一个，王鹏和李友还点了1盘家常豆腐，还点了 pretty direct there, 点 So what does it get? 红色. Okay, 红色. Okay, and then the one that they went ahead and were nice and said it was 第一个句子 in the 顺序 in the order. 昨天王鹏和李友去一家中国饭馆吃饭. So we don't even need to order it because we know that's what it is. 可是下一个呢？饭馆里吃饭的人很多，吃饭的人很多。And just a note about this, for those who maybe saw this and like were choked up a little bit, so we have 饭馆里. You would think like, oh, add a comma in English. Inside the restaurant. 吃饭的人, this is the subject together. 吃饭的人, the people who are eating food, 很多, and this is to describe the 吃饭的人. Okay. 这个形容什么呢? What does this describe? The 饭馆, therefore, it's getting blue. Let me get my little cute highlighter marker. It's getting blue. 蓝色. 下一个. 李友觉得点的菜够了. 点的菜够了. So clearly this happened after they 点菜. So it's getting 红色 for these purposes that we're trying to order it. 下一个. 李友觉得不用点别的了. These two are looking pretty connected, therefore, bam, they both get 红色. Okay. 王鹏和李友坐了下来. So this seems like an important transition, right? We're transitioning from looking at the restaurant to about to be ordering food. Therefore, for these purposes, I'll say blue. But we know that this is important, so we can mark it. And of course, you don't have to follow this exact way when you're doing it, but this is just something that helps me. Small bites, small steps, will helpers to yourself can just make something more digestible. Okay, 下一个. 李友还想点小白菜. 想点, therefore, oh, let me use the same yellow I've been using. 点. Therefore, we're going to give it that 红色. Okay. And then, 最后一句话, the last sentence, 是李友让服务员上菜快一点儿. 上菜快一点. So calls over the 服务员, come on, we would like to eat, right? So that's another transitory piece. So let me go ahead and mark that as well. And so now, hopefully what this does here is that it gives you a mental picture of, because you know how it is when you're reading like foreign language text, it's kind of like, oh, that's a lot. Like, it's not like I can just skim, speed read. So for me, it would be helpful after doing this to then go through and underline what is the important part of this sentence that would help tell me where it should go in the sentence, right? So if we have, and also you could think, maybe the 蓝色 ones come first, and then after that, the ones that go later in the order are the 红色 ones. And within that, you can then order them based on the transition words that you see, right? So if you wanted, you can go ahead and do the blue ones first, or do the red ones first. But I'll just show you another piece. So I'm looking at the 饭馆里好像一个位置都没有了. So 没有位置. You could underline that if you want to. Or just draw a little photo. Look, I honestly just draw a little picture. I think it's cute. Okay, 李友又要了2碗酸辣汤. 又要了. This is a pretty indicative piece right here. 又要了. That tells you that it's after they've already ordered something else, or after they've expressed a want for something else. So it can be the first one in the reds, right? It couldn't be the first one. It's got to come after something else. Similarly, let me just go randomly to this one down here. 王鹏和 Leo 点了. We see, oh, there's no transition. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's saying more or again. They also wanted to order. Therefore, you can think, maybe this is the first in the list of things they ordered. Next, let's look at the one right after that. 他们还点了. They also ordered. Okay, and that's telling me more about the order. And maybe you can see, maybe there's some flexibility. Or when it's time for me to go and create my own narrative with this, I could go and put whatever I wanted. I take out the information they give me, such as the 家常豆腐 and the 素饺子, and I just fully remix that and say 除了什么什么以外, 除了素饺子以外, 他们还点了家常豆腐. So you can really make this your own. So hopefully those little tips helped you out. And next we'll look at the answer key. Okay, so here I'll just talk you through the ones here. And I'll leave the writing and the eloquent prose to you guys, okay? So 第一个，昨天王鹏和 Leo 去一家中国饭馆吃饭. A nice clean introduction. 不需要改变. If you don't feel you need to change it, you can just leave it as it is. 可是 if you want it, I'll just throw in whatever. 可是饭馆里面吃饭的人很多，饭馆里好像一个位置都没有了，对吧？好像一个位置都没有了。可是突然 suddenly 王鹏和 Leo 看到有一张桌子没有了，所以王鹏和 Leo 坐了下来。In that case, I'll take out 王鹏和 Leo 说他们，所以他们就坐了下来。然后 Leo 让服务员上菜快点。接下来 continuing on， 王鹏和 Leo 点了2盘素饺子。And I tell you, these 饺子 are off the chain. When I went to 中国 back in the days, 2018年 I said, the 饺子 I've eaten today will forever be marked, stained. No, that's not good imagery. Let me try it again. They will forever just be branded in my memory and soul for eternity's sake. For eternity's length. When earth passes away, those jiaozi will remain in my soul. Change my life. Anyways, please, let me continue on. I'm telling you, when you go to Zhongguo, when you go to Taiwan, get you some jiaozi. It's just not what you get in the packets out here. I don't know what we're doing in the States. Anyways, 王鹏和 Leo 点了2盘素饺子，素的也好，鸡肉的也好，猪肉的也好，都非常好吃。下一个 Leo 又要了2碗酸辣汤，然后王鹏和 Leo 除了这些以外 besides these dishes, 他们还点了1盘家常豆腐。接下来 and these could have been mixed up. You could have switched these in any order you want. But then Leo 还想点还想点什么？还想点小白菜，所以他想点小白菜。那好，可是小白菜已经卖完了，怎么办呢？ Nothing you can do. 因为卖完了，所以 Leo 觉得点的菜够了。因为如果没有小白菜，我不要别的，我不要其他的。Leo 觉得不用点别的了。好的，所以他们就点完了。And that's the end of our volume. So here goes my 外国人 tip, okay? I hope that all of this here just really drives home the importance of transitions and even filler words in Chinese that can make your language just feel more organic, sound more organic, and just really upgrade your language both in written and speaking forms. So it can really improve that nativeness when you can connect the sentence beyond just saying that what do you call it, the subject over again, or even pronouns again. So as we've seen in Chinese and other places, plenty of places the subject is just omitted. And in many places, omitting that subject when it is appropriate and when it is understood by all parties, it can do a lot for your language sounding more native and organic. It's similar to if you're you're writing the dog was brown, the dog was furry, the dog was, it doesn't even matter how sparkly your words are. If it doesn't have that flowing nature, then it can sort of feel a little choppy. We say ka, ka, and ka. Just makes you feel like, oh, that can flow a little bit better. So think and compare your first grade essays versus the paper that you wrote for your last class. Because plenty of the language gains that happen in Chinese too are just applications of what you've already been learning throughout your English language learning journey. So these can help you to connect your ideas and even buy you time in a situation where you're looking for that word that was missing. It's really helpful. Use 然后除了这个以外 these type of words. And next, I really think it's helpful to help you practice thinking in that language. When you think in English, you don't think in these singular sentences. Like, I went to the store and bought apples. Loading, loading, loading. The apples were all gone when I got there. You sort of flow through that and wait and pause in different places. So you can practice doing that in Chinese, and that can also help you to form your ideas in Chinese as you are using it. 大家辛苦了，辛苦了！你们已经付出了很多的努力。You all worked hard. I know you just put in a lot for the last exercise, but we just got one more final push. 我们来练习一下。Okay, so here 我们来复习上一次的问题. Let's look at the question from last time. So, I asked you guys to 翻译 to translate these. So 第一个问题, my homework is not finished yet. Teacher, can you give me one more day? Can you give me one more day? So here, 答案就是 the answer is 我的作业还没有做完，还没有做完，做完，done to the end, done to being finished, 没有做完 did not finish that. 老师，你可以多给我一天写吗？多给 more give. And more give what? More give one day. More give one day to do what? More give one day to write. Or 写作业, 写作业, 写功课 is the verb that we use for that. So, as you can see, we can kind of like use these words as puzzle pieces on top of each other. 你可不可以多给我一天写吗？ Okay, 那下一个问题 The Chinese dictionaries are all sold out. What should I do? 中文字典都卖完了吗？ And here, because I have a question mark, it's kind of like a, oh, 是吗? You could even say like that. 都卖完了是吧？卖完了是吗？真的吗？我怎么办？ What should I do? 我怎么办？ Use that on a regular basis. Bei Ou Liu does, most definitely. 卖完了 was a common phrase that we saw. And you can 卖完, many things can 卖完, not just dictionaries. Okay, and finally, in reference to page 58 in the text, 你们课本里面的第58页，你们看完了以后，请你们告诉我 After you've seen it, please tell me 你最想吃哪一种中国菜？你为什么想吃呢？还有这个菜 跟美国菜有什么不一样 ？What is the difference between that and the American food that you most commonly consume? I'm very interested to see. And you can use the 语法 from 第12课。好的，大家都辛苦了，我们下次见，拜拜。